Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to install this washing machine into the garage. We recently purchased a top-loading washing machine, and with that have decided to keep this one, install it in the garage, use it as a backup if there's any problems with the top loader, but primarily for washing my mountain biking clothes and gear. So as soon as I get back from a ride I'll be able to just chuck it straight into this machine, as well as shoes. So front loaders do really well washing sneakers and things like that. It's also been very reliable, which is another reason to keep it. Purchased in 2009 when I bought my first home. The only maintenance that I've had to do on it is replacing the drain pump, which you may have seen in a previous video. I'll put a link to that in the card above and in the description, and the door seal. So it just developed a tear just due to age. So this is a relatively recent installation. Just bought it online. I think it was about $50. The pump was pretty cheap, but again, it's all covered in the video. So next I'll talk about how I'm going to connect water to the machine, because obviously there is no water supply to the garage presently, and then I'll take you through the parts. Two ideas came to mind to connect water to the washing machine. I'll take you through both, and then the one I've chosen. So you might be familiar with this water filtration system installation. There's a video about it on my channel, but basically the water comes in from the bottom there, through the filtration system, back out, and then up this line here into the ceiling. And then it basically just runs across diagonal. It's 20mm PEX once it gets into the ceiling, across to the internal door to the house. And the first idea I had was around where this light is where the PEX runs, and I was going to tap into that with a 3-way T connector and then run it kind of adjacent to the manhole cover, and then come down, and there's a hole about there. So there used to be kind of like a PVC pipe, 20mm PVC pipe, which concealed some wiring, which then came out here. So I think there was a wall sconce on the other side at some point, since removed, well before we moved in. So I have removed that PVC, and I was going to then basically feed a 20mm or 16mm PEX into the ceiling, and then just basically work back until I got to the main line there and just connect it together. And I thought that would be the easiest and obviously cleanest way to connect water to the washing machine. But the problem is I could not feed the PEX into the ceiling, so there was something blocking it when I was kind of pushing it up there. And it's a very shallow part of the roof. It's pretty much next to the eave, so access is pretty much impossible from inside the roof cavity. So I've abandoned that idea, and what I'm going to do instead is just take you back to the line here. Is just tap into this line here. So this is the outlet from the water filters, so the water will be filtered by the time it gets here, and then just run a line straight up. And then you can see this brown timber beam. I'll just run PEX along the top edge there next to the architraves, all the way along. It'll be nailed in, so it maintains like a straight line, and it's neat. And then into the corner there'll be an elbow joint across the top of the garage door, and then about here or so it'll just kind of run down to the machine. Okay, onto the parts. So just to start with, I've got two 1200mm straight PEX pipes. I've chosen to reduce the diameter to 16mm for this installation, just because I'm only running water to the washing machine, so I thought I might as well just save a bit of money, as opposed to running 20mm, as you can see here. So that'll run from the T connector up to the ceiling, and then I've got two rolls of 6m PEX here. So one should get me from here to the garage door, and then the second roll will get me to the washing machine. Got here one T connector, so we've got 20mm down to 16mm. A shut-off valve allowing me to shut off water to the washing machine only without affecting water supply to the house, just in case there's a leak or something that I discover. That's a coupling to make sure that I can actually reach the ceiling with those two straight pieces of PEX pipe. 3 elbows, one at the top here, one in the corner at the garage, and then one final one to come down to the washing machine. We've got a connector from the PEX to the washing machine hose, the water hose, and then just 2 packets of nail saddles, because obviously this is not going to maintain a straight line, so you need to basically force it to take a straight line across the top of the ceiling by nailing it, by securing it with these nail saddles. And then finally, just these PEX removal tools. This allows you to disconnect the pipes. In terms of tools, I'll see how we go, but I think it'll just be basically hammer for the nail saddles, and then I've just got my general toolbox and gloves. Oh, and just a step ladder so I can reach the ceiling. Alright, so I think we've covered everything. We can get started now. I'll just shut off the water to the home so that I can disconnect this pipe here and tap into it with that T connector, and I'll catch up with you soon. Alright, we're done in terms of connecting water to the washing machine, so I'll just take you through what I've done here. So we start with the T connector, reducing the 20mm mainline PEX to 16mm to go to the washer. There's the shut-off valve. It's open at the moment because I was just testing for leaks, but if the washing machine is not in use, I will have that shut off, just as a precaution. We've got the coupling there, just so I could reach the ceiling with the straight PEX pipe, and I've just got it pinned in various intervals across the top of the ceiling there. So we've got elbow connector, just run along. I've cleaned up and put everything back, by the way, which is why this thing's in the way now. There is a, I don't know if you can see it, 90-degree elbow connector in the corner. And we run across the top of the rear garage door to another elbow connector, pinned in a few times just to keep it straight, and then down to the washing machine hose there. So I didn't reduce this any further, so there is kind of slack in the hose, but I just didn't want to make another cut because this end here was finished because it was the clean end, so there's only the cut at the top. Alright, so picking up where we left off a couple of weeks ago, I just wanted to close out the video by showing you the outcome of the installation. So what we have here is the washing machine on the right, the dryer on the left, and you can see there that I've elevated it on a bit of a platform that I fashioned up using offcuts that I found. So I'll just take you in and show you that. So basically there's two lengths of this kind of manufactured timber. They were the perfect length, I couldn't believe it, 1200mm, so I didn't have to do anything there. And I also got these pieces of chipboard here, just so that the machines have something to sit on as a bit of a platform. But you can see here it's actually quite heavy and solid, but it's just a combination of layers of MDF and particle board, but yeah, very happy with that. And then it's sitting on 6 caster wheels, with both ends having locking mechanisms. So this washing machine doesn't really move around, it kind of tremors at most on the spin cycle, but I just wanted to make sure that I had locking casters just to keep everything in place. But otherwise, yeah, I'm very happy with that platform. So apart from buying another set of caster wheels, because I only had 4 and I needed 6, so I've got 2 spare, and they were only about 12 bucks. The whole platform was free. So, yep, it's good. Let's bring you up here. So I've just got a set of drawers which I purchased just to store everything else that I had in the cupboard before. So I quite like having the drawers. And then I've fixed onto the side the 2 Dyson handhelds. These are just used for the car and just general kind of around the garage, cleaning, that type of thing, not indoors. And then the drawers are fixed, or tethered, sorry, to the wall there. And then the Dysons charge up there. And then I'll just bring you over to just a set of shelves that I purchased, again just to store some odds and ends, mainly cleaning products at this stage. And then it's just protected by this $4 mat, which I just turned upside down. It's a doormat, just so I can dump things on top of it without worrying about damaging the shelf, because it's not very kind of hard wearing and durable. It's, yeah, I tend to kind of chip off the edges and whatnot. And the next task is just to sort out the power board situation, so just kind of clean that up a little bit, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with the overall outcome and functionality at this point anyway. I'll just recap the water connection situation here. So that's to the washing machine, obviously. We go up to the ceiling. I think it's been a couple of weeks now since I last filmed, but I believe I added a couple more pins there just to secure the PEX piping. We go along the top of the garage door, along the wall there, just beneath the architraves to meet the mains water connection. So I'll just take you over there now, just to recap what we did here. So I did just add a couple more connections. I just wanted that to be a little bit neater. So it otherwise just came down from the top 90-degree elbow straight down, and I just didn't like that. So I just added a few more connections just to make it sit flush with the wall. And these straight PEX piping I already had, so I didn't have to buy any more. So this valve here controls water supply to the washing machine only, so it's closed at the moment, obviously, because I'm not using it. But then just to open it, you push down. And the reason why I installed the valve here and not over at the washing machine is so that I don't have pressurized water sitting in these pipes when the washing machine is not in use. So I think it's just better as a precaution to put the valve at the start, not at the end of the water connection line. And then you've got here the main shut off. So that shuts off the water to the entire house, which is obviously open at the moment. So there you go. That's pretty much the connections. So let's talk about the drainage situation for the Greywater. So pretty simple solution here, given that there is no drainage in the garage as you would find in a laundry tub. I just bought some Greywater hose here, and that just pushes onto the existing Greywater hose at the back of the machine, and then I just feed that out the garage door onto the pebbles just outside, and it just kind of disperses over the pebbles and dries quite quickly in the sun. And that way I don't need to monitor the machine's rinse cycle to make sure that there's like a bucket there to capture everything and run out, empty it, or have two buckets set up to switch them over. So initially I was actually doing that, but then when I realized how much water is actually expelled from the machine during the rinse cycle, I need a very big bucket. So this is a far better solution, and unlike a bucket, I can basically just store the hose inside the drum when I'm not using it. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thank you everyone for watching my video and also subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them below and I'll get back to you. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.